We have a lot to cover in this video. We will discuss Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin heading? What is causing Bitcoin to become stuck? Why won't it surpass 100,000? Why has Bitcoin not yet made that parabolic move? We're going to examine its structure. What do we believe will happen next? We will also venture into XRP. There is much for us to do. We need to cover a lot of ground. Now, without further ado, take a seat and unwind. Let's get started on this. 100,000 Bitcoin. That really flows naturally. $455. In the last day, it has increased by 0.94%. The price of Ethereum is $3,998. In the last day, it has decreased by 0.08%. XRP continues to occupy the third position. To tell the truth, hasn't accomplished much today, which is very startling. As both USDT and USDC fall below the dollar pegs, coming in at $2.55. The total market value of cryptocurrencies is $3.7 trillion. From here, $4 trillion is the only reasonable and sensible next step. That's right. The next highest amount is $4 trillion. But before we go any further, let's remember these other alternatives. From 30 cents to $1.20, ADA torn. AVAX is a very basic 2x that ranges from $20 to $51. HBAR is 5 cents. We discussed it. We let out a yell about it. On HBAR, we are nearly out of 7x. That was simply a sleeping giant, after all. $1.16 for ARM. It doesn't appear too worn out. ICP continues to rise. From now on, I believe an ICP will reach over $100. Another that went on a rampage up to 50 cents was ALGO. It was, I think, sitting in the 10 cents to 15 cents range for a while. That everything is still in its very early stages is a wonderful aspect of it. Bitcoin, as he dubbed it, reaches $90,000 flawlessly. A fresh little box is now going to form in this area of between $110 and $90,000. What do we see? Since we have been consolidating around $100,000, we are seeing this box form in the middle of this. He thinks it will be choppy in December. Lots of chop coming up, between $90,000 and $110,000. We will simply continue to bounce like a ping pong ball up and down. Then, in Q1 of 2025, there will be a breakout, and we anticipate that significant increase in everything to decline. Creators of markets. We frequently discuss market makers. We discuss their actions and how they are keeping the price down for this particular reason. Hurrah, then, for people who enjoy Bitcoin. It appears like $102,500 is the final obstacle to what will probably be a pretty vertical surge to $150,000. Look, it's a pretty rough blocker, he added. The red line is visible. We immediately reject back down as soon as we approach the red line, which is roughly $102,000 to $103,000. At about $93,000, he has the bottom sitting at that green line. As a result, all of these charts and analysts are displayed at the same levels. All of them are observing and aiming. He makes between $90,000 and $110,000. And that is precisely what we are examining. Our goal is to achieve that breakthrough. And when that breakout occurs, I have it at about $108,000 to $115,000, as I have stated. It will be a brief moonshot once the breakout happens. This will be something that Bitcoin hasn't seen since before it had a moonshot like this. The moment is approaching. Either December or the first quarter of 2025 will see it. When we reach $150,000, that will be the vertical rise up on Bitcoin. We can then take a break after spending $150,000. The charts can be reanalyzed. We may re-examine the goals and determine where we believe Bitcoin will peak. $175,000, $25,000, and possibly $250,000. This post was published only recently by CryptoMinute.com. It claims that $120,000 is within reach and that the Bitcoin structure remains positive notwithstanding liquidations. Percival claims that a lot of traders have predicted that Bitcoin will hit $100,000 as a major target, with subsequent goals set for $200,000. At $100,000, however, market volatility seemed to be very hot, with financing rates notably reaching a brief peak of 70% before falling 15%. This is following the bearish occurrence. According to Percival, the weekly strength index for the Bitcoin market is $28, indicating a lackluster positive trend and the necessity for price consolidation. Every month, Bitcoin is still well positioned to sustain its upward trajectory, but it will also need some time to recover. And I think that's precisely what we're witnessing right now. The recharging is happening. What will occur here, then? The current price predictions of 90 to 100 or 90 to 110 are where Bitcoin will recharge. You know, a lot of money will be found. After more USDT is manufactured, it will continue to rise and eventually target the $150,000 range. Then, after $150,000, the possibilities are truly endless. I believe we may be witnessing a decline in ABC for VLO, which is why Charter released this. The support for the gold ratio is between 0.027 and 0.025. After that, we'll keep climbing higher. VLO recently went completely crazy. After a rampage, what happens? We have previously discussed this. It needs some time to calm down after a rampage. Profits will be taken by people. This is evident in all of the assets. In a vertical parabolic movement, anything that rises must descend again, correct, and then find a new level of support. When that occurs, it can push upward once more. With XRP, we recently saw that. Nothing can continue to run vertically indefinitely. That isn't good for you. That vertical line is where you must sprint up. After that, you must retreat and locate a new region of interest where we can attract new purchasers. Only then will the market continue to rise. Therefore, don't be surprised if VLO finds a fresh area of support. It's still only a 1.5x move, and then it can keep moving forward. Recall that I am really optimistic about VLO. This cycle, I think VLO will be one of those incredibly underappreciated cryptocurrencies. And ever since it was sitting around that 1 cent area, I've talked about it a lot. Sensing of crypto. Hey, we're still purchasing XRP, he says. We discussed how the PETA brand is really bullish, which is extremely uncommon given that person has been shaming XRP and Ripple for a while. He claimed that one of the most bullish cryptocurrency charts is that of XRP to USD. Then, we learned that one of the biggest XRP purchases ever made happened on Binance. Everyone on Binance is worth $50 million. The lovely thing is that you should focus on this and give it your full attention. It would be best if you kept an eye on these purchases or the whale alarm tracker will be activated. Verify that the XRP is being sent from the exchange to a cold wallet. Since someone is likely preparing to dump, you should never see XRP moving from a cold wallet or cold storage to an exchange. What are we witnessing in this scenario, then? They are purchasing from Binance and then moving to a cold storage wallet, which is a very positive indication since it shows that they are expecting a significant increase in value soon if they remove it from the exchange and put it away for a rainy day. As you can see, XRP is increasing, and AI predicts that it may reach $48. AI, whoever it is, provided me with its number. I support XRP's goal of reaching the optimistic $48 mark. Bring it on, I say. The cautious aim is currently at about 8,040 cents. I support that conservative goal. That number appeals to me. For XRP, 8,000 is a good and really healthy amount. This bull cycle, particularly the rise from 50 cents to 840 cents. That's a huge step. That would be like rattling numbers off the top of my head while sitting between 15 and 20x. People, it's bullish if you're going to receive 15 to 20x on a large cap. That is very optimistic. I'm not going to do a 15 to 20x room here if you consider the theory. Here, Bitcoin isn't experiencing a 15 to 20x run. Bitcoin is not performing 15 to 20 times as well as it did at its peak in 2020. We ought to all be content. We ought to all be having a party.